Hello, Aries. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aries is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aries, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here we have a Four of Pentacles. You're somebody right now who is very focused on sort of like preserving what you have. I feel like we're taking stock of the cabinets. We're making sure everything is sort of ship shape. You're somebody very practical right now. I think you're kind of you're trying to make sure that you're prepared for any sort of obstacles down the road. We're maybe with this one, we're sort of kicking the tires, we're checking the oil, we're making sure everything is good before we take that big road trip. I find you to be a very practical person right now. I think that you are perhaps getting ready for something big in your life, getting ready for a really big move. Right now, I think it's the energy is about sort of preserving and protecting yourself. If there is a rift with somebody, now is not the time to try to get to the bottom of it. Now is not the time to really try to make amends even. It's kind of an energy that says, just settle, make sure that you're okay, make sure that you got everything that you need before we do any big sort of moves, make any big plans or come to any really big decisions. Okay, this card might be indicating that there's a slight delay in something. Okay, I feel like you're waiting for some sort of financial thing to come through, or you're waiting for a little bit more resources to gather before we do this big thing. Yeah, let's see where this energy is going. This is very stable, safe, and secure energy, and that's kind of where your focus has been. Okay, in this kind of a getting ready, a preparation sort of energy here. Let's see what else we have. We got the Adjustment card. Seven of Cups, okay. The Queen of Cups. The Tower. And a Prince of Swords. I feel like you're sort of getting ready for the Tower, right? Prince of Swords over here. So we have a good mix of the kind of the water energy, and then we've got our air energy here. This is a Libra energy with the Adjustment card. And then, of course, we've got our Tower, and we've got our Seven of Cups. I feel like this is a situation that you can't stay in, but you're trying to adapt and preserve and protect yourself as much as possible now before we make this really big move, right? Before things absolutely change for you. This is really intense, kind of knowing that there's a Tower moment coming, right? And I think that's why it's kind of being suggested that you don't reach out and try to make amends or try to patch things up with anybody just yet. Because I feel like maybe that attempt, it sort of sets off a chain reaction that brings us to that Tower moment, right? Now, the Tower moment's not always a bad thing. In fact, it's rarely actually just all bad, It's never really all good either. It's a mixture of both. It's something that represents a very significant change coming in your life. One that is going to disrupt a lot of your life. I mean, it's really kind of upending things. And usually this is a mixture of sort of good and bad. There are positive things that are resulting from this big, it's kind of a sudden change, but it's one that you're expecting. It's very disruptive, but I think it's leading to much better things, provided you don't sort of lose your way, right, and get lost in the chaos there. And I think that's why we also have the good, strong balance of the Adjustment card, and we've got that fixed air energy with the Prince of Swords. We have a Two of Wands. We've got the World or Universe card in the position of your environment. Boundaries being lifted, right? We got a Three of Swords, which is the energy we don't want. Yeah, that makes sense. Leading to the Six of Pentacles, really wonderful success. It's kind of the tower we have to have this leveling up tower breakthrough moment, this big, huge disruption in order to get that stability, that harmony, that success, that achievement here with the Six of Pentacles. Okay. I feel like there is a slight delay in something, especially now we've got the Four of Pentacles and the Universe card. I feel like you're waiting for something that you almost feel like is never going to come in. And I don't know if it's a door to open, if it's an opportunity, or if it's like the money or the resources, or like the idea of the perfect timing for something. Yeah. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. And we're going to set it down right over here. We're going to put Jimbo, the Lizard King, aka Mr. Lizard, right there on top of that card today. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation we need. If you have a prediction for that card at any time, you know what, let's move it over here now. If you have a prediction for this card at any point during the reading, leave it down in the comments. I highly recommend it. It is a good way to practice our intuition. We can do it as sort of a group exercise. All right. Let's take a look around the room and see what we have again. We've got, obviously, our majors, which are sort of very interesting. We have to sort of keep a level head here. You've got to try to stay balanced. It's kind of when you're anticipating something, and let's say you're waiting for that starting gun. You know, you're waiting for the green light, and you're poised and you're ready to go. It's like a football scrimmage, you know. You got to wait for the snap before you can charge forward. You have to wait for the green light before you can hit the gas. But I feel that you're kind of like, you're ready to go, you know. And I kind of feel with the Four of Pentacles especially that you are probably as ready as you're going to be. Yeah. But we're just sort of double checking everything. But I feel that the Libra energy, the adjustment energy, we are talking about some sort of a relationship. It feels like it's a professional relationship, but it might be it could be a career change that's kind of coming. It could be this moment where you're finally deciding to go after that promotion, or you're going to sort of have that meeting with your boss where you sort of you plead your case, and you try to get the raise and the promotion and whatever, or you have some sort of an idea or a project that you want to implement. It could be that you're really waiting for the right time to sort of make a very big change in your life. And I feel it has something to do with your financial situation, though we could be talking about something at home too. Could be talking about a really big change in your living situation, or maybe literally in the thing that you're doing with your home. If you're making any kind of repair or renovation, or if you're thinking of moving, perhaps there is a hint of moving locations here, you know, with the Four of Pentacles being the current walls within which you live, and then of course the universe being, hey, we're kind of going out on the road, you know. Maybe this is the idea here that you're at home now, but you're going to be leaving home, right? And maybe you are going on some sort of a long distance trip, a tour of the world. Maybe you're backpacking through Europe, or you're kind of going on an extended road trip, but something is sort of lifting the boundaries, the restrictions from you. Yeah, something's kind of opening up the world here, and kind of you're getting outside the castle walls for a while, you know, and I think that's going to be a very good thing for you. I think that it is kind of scary because of this tower energy, that it's kind of disruptive. It's taking you outside of your routines of life, you know, but I think this is for a good thing, especially when we remember we've got that Six of Pentacles at the end. Okay. But right now, I think it's a matter of making the right connections, making sure that you have everything that you need. There is something with another person, and I don't know if they are maybe a water sign, maybe an older female energy. I'm kind of sensing that there's something about an older female very close to you. It could be this is the person we're sort of having issues with. Maybe you haven't told them your plans yet. Maybe that's the boss. Maybe that's maybe it's a maternal energy. Maybe it's something like this that you haven't yet dealt with that situation. And Spirit's saying, don't reach out and do it now, because that's going to lead us right into this sort of tower thing. Also, there's something with a dog. Somebody either has a dog, got a dog, or got bit by a dog. I see a dog kind of showing its teeth, right? And I don't know what that is, if that's symbolic or if that's something literal that has happened to you. But anyway, we've got a little bit of fire energy. We've got our water. We've got our air. And we've got our earth. Okay? So the fire energy, it's kind of like we're sort of waiting for that green light. This is very strong Aries energy. This might as well be one of your power cards, but it's very aggressive, right? This is the card that really is just about to take charge. You've got this really take charge attitude, but it's kind of like right now you're trying to restrain yourself. You've got that Four of Pentacles that's kind of trying to box in this very strong creative energy that's ready to burst forth into the world, right? Into the universe. Yeah. Spirit says the time is almost here. Okay, the time is almost at hand for you to do this. The Libra energy, of course, is about the relationships and the balance within those relationships. Whether or not the relationship is working for you. Could be a relation between you and your living situation. It could be you and a partner, a friend, a family member. Could be the relationship between you and your boss, you and the company you work for, you and the institution with which you associate. Okay? It could be the institution of marriage, right? It could be the institution of your church, temple, lodge, or order. It could be charity. I mean, you don't have to be working in your career. Maybe you're retired. This is the group or the institution with which you associate, okay? And I feel like you're about to make some sort of big change there. Some sort of big announcement, some big plan is about to be unleashed here, okay? And it's really important that you keep a level head, that you don't let this fire energy kind of get the best of you, and that you try to maintain a sort of professional demeanor, right? Even if this is a marriage, if this is a romantic a family thing, you're being told to sort of stay reserved. Don't get carried away. Don't get ahead of yourself, and stay very balanced and stay sort of, very professional about things. There's something about you coloring in a book or writing in different colors in a book. I don't know if it's a journal or if it's like a sketchbook, but it's kind of like I see a lot of different colors in what looks like a journal or maybe a sketchbook or something, yeah. So I don't know if you are a visual artist or something like that. You could be. The Seven of Cups down beneath the surface is quite telling, because the longer we stay here, the more we feel like we're going to sink into this, okay? The situation at hand now is making you feel uneasy. And this is sort of that knot you get in your stomach when you know that something's about to happen, that you're about to make some big move, that you're about to go on this big vacation, perhaps. And this is that knot in the stomach that's just like the waiting, it's just kind of, maybe what date, you're going to be leaving, right? If I had to guess, I would say 7 or 8 days or 7 or 8 weeks is the thing. I'm getting a 7 to 8, 7-8, okay? And so I feel that it's kind of known when this is going to happen. And the waiting, the anticipation, I think, is really, there's this knot in the stomach. I also feel that this is the reason why you're kind of doing this, that there's some uneasiness about things. If this is your four walls, your living situation, if this is sort of you staying in the town that you're in right now, there's something about it that just you feel like you have to go. This is, again, the company that you work for or the living situation or whatever it is. Just as this is sort of your relationship with that. there's a feeling here that something needs to change, that there has to be some sort of movement here, because this is kind of a sinking, stagnating, becoming over time, if it doesn't change, it's becoming a toxic sort of swamp, a lot of mosquitoes in that sort of place. And so there has to be some sort of movement here. Of course, the tower moment, if we're not prepared for that, is going to be very disruptive, and it's going to, I think, break a lot of the relationships that you have. Now, the Queen of Cups in the background here, I don't know, excuse my voice today, I don't know who that is. I don't know if this is a family member, if this is a particular older female for you, and if it is, you know who it is. I feel like it's someone that you're connected with kind of through your life, right? So it feels like it's a family member or a maternal energy. This could be any older female that you've known for a long time. And this could be kind of someone with whom you no longer share the same aspirations, the same goals. Okay? Because I feel like you've discovered something different in you. There's something that's changed within you that says, I gotta move. I gotta do something else. I gotta get out of here. I've gotta go forth into life. It's maybe a change of heart. I don't feel that's necessarily it. I feel that there's just been more self-discovery. There's been more emotional depth work done by you. It's not that you've changed your mind or changed your heart, It's that you've discovered more about what that is. And the more it reveals to you, the more you feel this sort of pull or this calling to go in this new direction that might still be quite open and uncertain and unknown. Okay? So I don't think there's necessarily any kind of like animosity or I don't feel that there's really a rift here, but there is a little bit of a, it's going to be sort of difficult, right? To kind of say, hey, I've outgrown this situation, or I've moved past this. And with the Four of Pentacles too, this is kind of a situation that we are outgrowing. This is something, anytime we get a 4, what is it? We look for a 5. I think the 5 is coming in the form of this tower event, or at least that's the cloud over the whole reading here, is that if something doesn't change, it's going to change on its own without any kind of input or direction or control or planning involved. So I feel that you're kind of getting ready for this big move so that the tower event is not as disruptive as as tower events usually are. I'm also getting the letter P. I don't know, for a first name, last name, somebody's got a P sound in their name. The tower is one of these moments in life where everything changes, And we think back to what are the strongest memories you have in your life? Let's think about when we're a kid, those big, big moments in your life that you remember, that stick with you. And it may not really have been all that significant at the time, or it may not even now seem like it was really much of anything. But there's a reason why you chose that memory. And now you're thinking of the next one and the next one and the one that recently happened. The tower events are those moments in life, those point events in time and space that we remember, because for whatever reason, they bring us into this like very full and open consciousness. The tower events are those moments in time where you are extraordinarily aware and conscious. Okay? Like fully there in the moment. And that's why you remember this memory, these different memories so vividly. These are the moments in life that really are the exclamation points. They really punctuate our life. And we know that this is another one that is sort of on its way, right? This is one I think that you're invoking in a way, right? That we're getting ready for this. We want this life-changing moment to happen. Okay? And it is, but you are being told not to like lose yourself, right? The Prince of Swords here in the future sort of position. It's a fixed air energy. Okay. Make sure that you're not being careless. Make sure that you have a good head on your shoulders here. All right. This is someone that has made a decision and has committed to it and seeing it through for the kind of long term. It's not something that you kind of are making on a whim and then a couple days later you kind of run back to the previous energy. You run back to the Four of Pentacles and you kind of say, whoops, I made a mistake. No, this is a commitment. This is you making a decision in your life, and you're sticking with it. Okay, you're sticking with it. Now we're going to talk about the path of the serpent, and as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free, and it helps the channel, and I appreciate that very, very much. All right, the Two of Wands over here. We talked about this as being the creative energy, the impulsive energy, the power energy you have that you're really trying to hold back, because the Tower card is a Mars energy and the Two of Wands is Mars in Aries. So it's kind of like you're ready to bring on this Tower. You're ready to invoke the Tower event, right? You're ready to kind of to get the green light and to set all of this in motion. Okay. And we're trying to sort of hold back and wait for the right time. I feel that there is this sense of timing here that's very important to you. I don't know if it has anything to do with astrology. I feel like you've got something that there's kind of this connection with astrology or some kind of a divine timing sort of method that you're sort of waiting for. Okay, but it's getting difficult to kind of hold yourself back. I feel like right now you're somebody who's trying to remain very alert. Like I feel like you usually like the sugary sort of coffee drinks. I feel like right now it's just black coffee, that you're trying to just remain awake and alert. And so I feel like you're just kind of doing like spicy food, black coffee, like it's really, really intense sort of things, right? To kind of keep yourself on your toes. So I wonder if there's been sort of a change in your, and maybe it's an unconscious thing, but I feel like there's been a change in some of your self-care habits. Maybe you're doing more like hot and cold showers, like the going back and forth kind of thing. Or you're doing like more high intensity interval training kind of stuff, the black coffee, the spicy food, all these intense things to sort of get yourself ready. It's like when you just kind of jog in place really, really fast to warm up and get your heart beating before you go and actually do the big run or whatever, So I feel like you're trying to keep yourself in that state of readiness. Yeah, because this is something big for you. We're going right into this outer space universe kind of thing. You're kind of like wandering off into the unknown, though I don't think it's a wander. I think it's an intentional march. Like you have this really like stomping kind of energy to you when you set out on this journey, because I think there is a lot of intention here. Wandering was the absolute wrong word for me to use, because it doesn't feel like that. When I look at the universe card, it kind of feels like we're floating around out in space. We don't know what we're doing and where we're going. That might still be the case, but you're doing so very intentionally. And this could be really a journey of self-exploration. This could be really you go and walkabout. Yeah, this could be a kind of a journey of self-discovery ultimately, yes. I think it's taking you on some long-distance travel, I think internationally. I think that a lot of it is kind of road trip stuff. I think I feel like you're just sort of exploring the universe in order to explore yourself at the same time. Because of that, really the Queen of Cups, you know that there's more there. Like you've realized how deep the water goes, and you're out there now in the universe really trying to explore that. And this could be something as simple as you taking a different job, quitting the job you have, going after something that's bigger, better, and more sort of meaningful for you. Now, I'm not saying you have to quit your job, but I feel like that's the kind of transition we're talking about. It is a lifting of boundaries. It is you kind of getting out and getting lost for a while in order to find yourself. And we've got the Six of Pentacles there at the end, which is very, very important. Okay. I wonder if you're someone even that's kind of been known to sometimes be a little bit impulsive. I know it's kind of an Aries stereotype, but there's a reason why that stereotype exists. You know, there are these qualities of Aries that I think are quite universal across the Aries collective. It depends on other things. Now, you're not just Aries. You know that. You're a lot of other things too. You're also Libra. It's your opposite, right? It's your opposite sign. If you look at the wheel of the zodiac, you've got Aries, you've got Libra, right across the street. You know, it's always in that sort of opposition. And what that means is that's the difficult part of yourself that you've got to try to integrate. And so we've got the Libra energy right here. This is kind of like your anti-power card, right? I don't have an unbell to ring, but or an anti-bell to ring, but I should get one. The idea there is that your impulsive instinct, this Aries, like, just, I got to go now, I've got to charge, I've got to rush forward, you know. That is something that you're trying to battle using this other side of yourself where it's kind of saying, slow down, be thoughtful, be considerate, focus on the relationships, try to be professional. Don't be, it's like the opposite of being impulsive. This is the opposite of that, right? This is thinking things through, being level-headed. You don't want to burn any bridges. You don't want to trash any relationships. But the instinct is ready to just scream forward like a rush of fire. This is the opposite of that. So I think that this really is a big sort of challenge for you to kind of hold yourself back until the timing is right. Yeah. But anyway, this is something with the universe card that is expanding your world. I think this is you going out into the world to try to find the place that you belong, trying to find your home, trying to find your true family, trying to find your people, your chosen people, your tribe, trying to find your little corner of the universe to sort of call your own. Where do you belong? You know, you're like a puzzle piece, and the universe is an incomplete jigsaw puzzle, and you're trying to go and find out where you fit in there, right? Where is that blank space where, that's where I'm supposed to fit, you know, or at least one that feels that way for the time being, okay? The Three of Swords is your obstacle card. This is the card of the difficulty because we don't want to get so nostalgic for the past that we feel like we've done the wrong thing. The Three of Swords is about sorrow, heartbreak, loss, trauma, pain, suffering, but about the memories of such, or the pain, suffering, trauma, sorrow, heartbreak, you know, loss that we experience because of our memories. Okay? So when we think about past tower events, right, those important memories, how many of those were, or are now at least, invoking sort of negative feelings, unpleasant emotions, right, unpleasant feelings and affects? Because this is the obstacle, because it is kind of like this this is the energy that leads people to regret and guilt and all those things, because we're thinking about the memory, we're remembering, we're putting that situation from the past back together in our minds, and we're feeling those feelings again, whatever they are, good or bad, right? And the bad ones might lead us to think, I regret my move, I should do something else, I should go back, okay? So it's kind of getting over our own sort of natural tendency to feel like maybe I did the wrong thing. Maybe this wasn't the right move for me, right? So we've got to get over our own sort of past, our own memories. And I think the Tower event, remember I said, is going to be good and bad, pleasant and unpleasant, because it is disruptive. It's leading you to better things, but it's also, just by definition, you have to leave some other things behind. If you're moving to something better for you, then there's going to be this Three of Swords connection with what you're leaving behind. Makes sense? But the Six of Pentacles makes it all worth it, because this is the harmony. This is you finding your people. This is you being accepted into this this area of the world. This is you finding the place where you belong. This might be a lot of separate occasions where you're sitting around a dinner table with strangers feeling like, this is where I belong, you know? This is harmony. This is everybody bringing something to the table. This is you knowing what your unique gift and talent is and bringing it to the world and finding a place where it can be appreciated, utilized, where you can contribute fully your energy to the universe, right? I think that this is also talking about the kind of stepping up of the financial situation, going from that 4 to that 6. I think that there is that financial component that whatever you may be putting your fiery Aries effort into, provided you kind of stay level-headed about it, it's going to be very successful. It's going to bring you financial security and sort of, physical security and a stable sort of platform for life. Okay? So that's a very promising aspect too. But I think this is really more about that sense of community, that sense of family, right? That sense of going from a very restrictive this is just 4 walls. You're locked up in this tower, locked up in this castle. Boom, we get out of that. We go into this wide, open, vast, kind of lonely wilderness of a universe, and now you find where you really belong. Now it's a harmonious 6 of Pentacles. It still looks like a tower, kind of, right? It still looks like a structure from top down, if we're looking at it from above, and this is still that, but this is a round table. This looks like a prison cell. This looks like a banquet table, It looks like the round table of King Arthur's court, So I think this is going to be a very, very significant change in your life that's coming. And we're going to look at the mystery card. And what do we think this is going to be? I want to see some better water energy. We had a little bit of water here, but I don't like that water. Nobody likes this water. Sometimes we may think we like it, right? Sometimes the 7 of Cups are those things that we love to indulge in. For some reason, we're convinced that it feels good, that it tastes good, that we like it, that it is pleasant. But when we take off our sort of rose-colored glasses, we realize we've been eating mud pies, It's a funny story. My daughter and I we were in the front yard, and we were cleaning off the driveway because there was mud on the driveway from all the rains and stuff. So we were scooping it up and stuff, and she was making these little mud pies, and she says, "Here's a mud pie for you, Daddy." I say, "Oh, thank you," and I pretend to eat it. She says, No, don't really eat it. It might look good, but it's not good for you. And I laughed, of course, but I immediately thought of the 7 of Cups, because that's something that maybe sometimes looks good, but it's not good for you. Something that feels good in the moment, but it's not good for you, right? Anyway, a funny story. I want to see some better water energy. Let's see what we have. There's the power card, Emperor. Now I can ring the bell. So we have really now both sort of sides of yourself. We've got the Aries Emperor, and we've got the Libra Adjustment card. So we've got your opposite sign, and really this is a journey for you, a quest for you to unite with this unknown side of yourself. Yeah. For you to discover kind of who you really are and where you really belong. And this is that Aries power. And so this also really tries to be in control of this impulsive energy. And this is kind of, too, it's a card that's sort of large and in charge. It's like I'm making these decisions for my life. And if there's somebody around you that's sort of criticizing you, this is you saying, look, I'm an adult, and we can listen to the advice of others. We can, and that's why at the beginning I kind of said, it's like you're just sort of kicking the tires. You're staying home. You're not reaching out to other people right now. You're just kind of trying to prepare yourself, because you don't want to be overly influenced by the opinions of others, because if that is that older female energy, right, the water with the Queen of Cups, their influence is going to be of an emotional nature. They're always going to tell you, it's like your parents will always tell you, no, don't go do that, because they just want to keep you safe. They want to keep you here, let's say at home, right? So we have to realize that their criticisms, their opinions, their advice is going to be biased. For or against your plans, their opinions are going to be biased. Yeah. And so this is about you accepting your own responsibility, accepting your own autonomy and your own agency, and directing your creative energy where you will it to go. Yeah. Very, Very intense. We're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There is one down below. New readings for Aries are on Mondays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free, does not cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.